Welcome back to Cantina Talk. I am here with Eric, malfunctioning Kyber Crystal Shaw.
And I'm here with Ryan, Droid Hugger Shaw.
Beep boop boop. We are here to run down and we're here to rank our top 8 in the original trilogy, prequel trilogy, sequel trilogy, and extended universe for story arcs.
Yes. So, if you didn't watch our last video...
What you doing?
Yeah, it should have came out yesterday if you did everything correctly.
Yeah, you're a gonk sniffer. That's what I say.
This is where we go and list out all of the people we think qualify to be in this... To qualify to be in this bracket.
Yes.
This 32-person bracket.
Yeah. And so that's what we're going to be referencing this off. Before we kind of break them down, we'll run down them really quickly to let you guys know who's in this list. We're going to be running down. The first one is this top left bracket here. Is going to be the original trilogy. So we've got Han Solo, Leia, and this is in no particular order. Han Solo, Leia, Luke, Chewie, R2-D2, Lando, C-3PO, Jabba the Hutt, Admiral Akbar, and Wilhuff Tarkin.
Alright, so I think for this, we should throw in the obvious.
Yes.
Obviously, we're going to have some people here.
Yeah, obviously Sarlacc's going to be one.
Let's calm down.
All right. Is there someone here that you think I gotta say the storyline of Luke is like the perfect hero arc, starting out as a no good moisture farmer bratty kid turning into the savior of the galaxy. I think that's A to B. I think that George Lucas kind of wrote the most iconic hero arc here.
Yeah, definitely. You look through all of tall tales and fantasy stories. This is going to be most in line with that kind of arc of, small town boy, grows up, becomes a hero.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, and that's where number 2 gets a little more interesting. I think that, we've obviously got Han Solo, we've got Leia and Chewie up there for me in battle for number 2.
Yes.
I consider C-3PO. Even though you don't feel the change when he's talking, I think being completely dismantled the way he was in 5, and then
mind wiped and
I think that's tough.
To him.
And whatnot to him. Yeah. However, if I had to put my money on a number 2, I would still say Han Solo.
Okay.
He is different in episode 4 than he is in episode 5 significantly.
Okay. Now, this is not just. We're not just voting them on the original trilogy. We're voting them throughout everything they've been through.
Right.
This is why I think Leia should be number 2.
Okay.
I think Han Solo. I think the last the sequels do a disservice to him, and how they almost revert what he grew to be in the originals. Now, it doesn't take away from how good I like Han Solo or how much I think he's a great character.
That hit deep.
But I think this makes Leia, and I think Leia's story just keep getting better and better through the sequels. So that's why I think she should go second.
You know what? I agree with you. I think that, and in the sequels, what it adds is that Leia trained to be a freaking Jedi too.
Yeah, like I said, love Han Solo, love the character.
Love,
but
good guy.
He almost went back to just being a smuggler.
Very
right?
true.
It might have, even if it was in the service of the Resistance.
I do think that his last moment is one of family, though. I do with Kylo, and then his post-mortem.
But I don't like how they gave him almost like a whole new arc to go through in the sequels.
We're together on that. Next, we're going to go right down. Do you think that that's enough to bump Han Solo down even more? Possibly. I would say that potentially Chewie could slide in that number 3 slot, because we also get the Solo Chewie, who is just a dirt boy who's made to fight other dirt boys. He's a dirt boy fighter. Yep. And I think that
he really was put in a pit. He was enslaved to literally kill other prisoners. Right.
Yeah, dirt boy.
Dirt boy. That's what I wasn't used to that term that a dirt boy means a slave to kill other prisoners.
Maybe that didn't age well through the conversation. But I do think that Chewie goes from that to finding worth, working off his life debt, and then sticking with him, making the choice to stick with Luke, and then also in episode 7, go through the death of that person that he's been with. We don't see Han Solo go through that death. As far as we're concerned, until episode 9, that's where Han Solo's story ends. But you have to see Chewie go through that.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely see that. Him, just with Leia, consoling each other over Han Solo.
Even though I'm still very upset that Leia went and hugged Rey before she hugged
just let Chewie cry, walk right past.
Yeah. Yes.
I think Chewie goes third.
I like that.
Chewbacca. Maybe. Put some respect to that full name.
All right.
And then
are we gonna bump the smuggler Mo?
I say we keep him there at 4.
All right. And who is gonna be your 5 pick?
My 5 pick. Now we got Han Solo out of there. I think that Lando Calrissian should be 5. Now I know you like those 2 little droids, those cute little droids. But I think we have seen Lando in the Solo movie, obviously in the new sequels.
You're gonna piss a lot of people off by not going R2 right now.
I don't think I am.
I think you are. R2's in 1 through 9. R2's in the Clone Wars.
It's true.
We've got all this stuff from R2. I think C-3PO as well. Loses a freaking arm. He goes Red Boy for a minute. We've seen him Silver Boy. He goes No Skin Boy.
Okay.
He goes through these transformations. You don't think that's messing up his motherboard, bro? I think that's playing with his brain a little. And I think that in terms of arcs, I think C-3PO and R2-D2 gots to be 5. But
5 and 6?
5 and 6.
And then Lando be 7 is what you're proposing
I think that's fair.
That's
However,
tough.
I know this is a give and a take. And I know that you're a Lando boy at heart. And I know that I'm willing to put Lando above one of them. If you really want. But
you're not gonna like this. A lot of people aren't gonna like this. I think we should go C-3PO then. And then Lando. And then R2.
Okay. And I'm okay with that. Because I think R2 has more personality. But I think that C-3PO goes through more of an arc.
Alright, sure.
Okay. Because again here, we're going off arc. Oh yeah, people that don't watch this video are going to be mad. Oh.
What?
See, nothing. It's just that R2-D2 is going to be 7th.
You have Leia Skywalker number 8 right now.
No, she needs to get out.
Which our remaining 3 are Jabba the Hutt, Admiral Akbar, and Tarkin. Grief?
Grief? What?
What's his name?
Wilhuff.
I thought, why did it say Grief?
Grief Karga from Mandalorian.
Really similar, actually.
Yeah. All right. I mean, when it comes to these 3, I like Tarkin's storyline, his arc of confidence. I like because I think that the moment right before he dies, I mean, his face is the last thing you see before it blows up. Not to mention, we learn a lot about him in Rogue One. In Rogue One, we find out that Tarkin is a thief.
Yeah.
He pretty much steals credit for the Death Star. He goes and he's got a book named after him. I know we're not definitely going into the books, but there's stuff there. I think that Tarkin's probably alright. And I like that in his last moments, there's a lot of interpretation of what he's thinking right before the Star goes boom boom. But I'm thinking that he in his last moment, he knew it was about to explode. Mm-hmm. And he realized that he lost. And I think in that moment, in his eyes, you can see the spark of the rebellion.
All right, let's go Tarkin.
Okay.
Good little speech there.
Yeah, I don't really know what it... Grand Moff. All right, now is the great question. Last year we put sequels top right, we put prequels bottom left, and then we put extended bottom right. Okay. Do we want to do that again?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Don't even know if that's how we did it, but that's what we're going to do it this year.
We're so confident.
I was very, very confident. We're going prequels now.
All right, prequels.
All right.
Now, for this, obviously you should have watched our previous video on the...
Right. I'll run down who we got here,
Yeah.
but if you want to know how we got who we got, go back. Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Qui-Gon Jinn and Tonic, Mace Windu, Yoda, Palpatine / Sidious, Padme, Grievous, Count Dooku, Shmi Skywalker, like that one, Jar Jar Binks.
Okay.
Yes.
Misa's scared I'm not going to be on the list.
Misa's scared I'm not going to be on this pokey. Is there one that's jumping out? Man, this is a tough list looking
Stacks,
at.
yeah.
Anakin Skywalker, put aside the whatever you say about the writing / acting of Hayden Christensen. I guess you kind of can't put that aside because it is part of the arc. But I think that from a to B storyline, Anakin Skywalker's got... Oh, does he have the best on this list?
I'd say so, for sure. And he's been my favorite Star Wars character for a very long time because of the arc.
I really like Obi-Wan Kenobi's arc.
It's a good arc.
But I guess he doesn't change as much as Anakin Skywalker.
Anakin changes a lot.
I mean, that guy. Do you want to put him as Anakin / Vader?
Yes.
That's, I think, a good one. Okay, that's a good one.
Okay.
I don't think... Now, we're going down the list looking at our two...
Now, you were saying how you liked Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I think I've got a 2.
Okay. I think I might know how you say it, but I don't
Let's say it on 3.
No.
1,
No.
2, Padme Amidala.
I knew you were going to say that.
I think that I like her for 2. And hear me out. Padme goes from a girl that doesn't want anything to do with this little guy. And then the director tells her that she has to fall in love with him. So she does in the second movie. And then I think that, honestly, the third movie moves Padme's story along. She almost gets freaking assassinated in there.
Multiple times, yeah.
She's
in Clone Wars.
She is right by Anakin's side, your favorite story arc,
Okay.
being with him, and has to go through pregnancy. Neither of us understand that.
That's
how
right.
difficult
Anakin
that is.
never went through pregnancy.
That is a fact. The pregnancy of the dark side. And then I think having that moment where she goes through the story arc of going to Anakin, the roller coaster of emotions to go to him, and then see him force choke her, and in her what she thinks might be her last moments, that I'm gonna lose his son, and then to wake up and then to give birth right before she dies. I mean, golly.
It's loaded. It's definitely loaded.
And I think that Obi-Wan goes through one major moment. I think Order 66 was pretty bad for that guy. And I think that was pretty tough. But
I think Obi-Wan's had a lot more moments than that, than Order 66.
Okay, alright,
losing his master,
Duchess
Satine.
Okay, alright, you know what? You sold me. I'm okay with Obi-Wan 2. Wanna go Obi-Wan 2?
Yes, but I'm going to fight for my third.
I'm gonna fight back. I almost put Obi-Wan 2. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay.
Alright,
Who you
now,
got?
for number 3, I say Yoda.
No, I really think that Padme has a better story than Yoda.
I don't, though. I mean, you see Yoda in a lot of the movies, a lot of the Clone Wars.
It's gonna be a long video.
You see him struggling with being, the head of the council.
He's not struggling. He's confident the whole time, pretty much.
Through the Clone Wars, you don't realize, like, the stuff he went through the Clone Wars, right? Finally being able to talk to Qui-Gon and just kind of his struggle through almost like not knowing Anakin's going to turn, but knowing something's wrong with him and knowing something's wrong with the council, and how he's almost like sucked into it and he can't get out of it. And then finally when he does get out, his path is to help Luke and help destroy Sidious and Vader. So yeah, I think that's better than Padme. It extends a lot more through a lot more of the universe.
I think that, however, I think he starts a Jedi and
he starts a Jedi and ends a friend.
No, he doesn't. That doesn't make any sense. I think he starts a Jedi and he ends a hermit.
Yes.
And I think that Padme starts a politician and ends a friend.
Okay. I don't think you should judge a story arc on how... on their...
shouting.
on their, like...
On their what?
On their, like better... being better and better progression, right?
I don't either. Case in point, Padme.
Yeah, she gets better. She gets more courageous. She gets,
She has she has an incredibly tragic end.
She does. That's true.
She dies of a broken heart. God damn it.
Okay. Yeah, she does.
Yoda dies because he just tired. Yoda tired.
What if he lost the will to live?
I don't.
As Padme did. He completed his goal, right? He was told by the Wills.
Oh, you freaking
what?
Clone Wars stan.
I'm not. I like Rebels more.
All right.
But I will concede this one.
No, I'll concede this one because I think that I just want my voice to be heard on this case, and I'm okay giving it 3. I think these two might. Yeah, I don't know.
Because the way I look at it is Padme. I see Padme as a side character for Anakin's
Your voice is
story.
all the way up here. Okay.
I see Padme as a side character for Anakin's story. I see Yoda as a main character for the overall Jedi story.
You know what? I agree with that, actually.
All right, and I will not argue with you again for 4th.
Who would you put above?
I'm
just
said
curious.
I won't.
I know, but who would you?
I don't know. I haven't even looked at it. Probably Palpatine, though.
I don't. All right. Well, I'm gonna put Padme 4.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of agree with that too.
And the good news is that whoever you think should have gone above, they can duke it out, and the people decide.
Exactly.
The people's
exactly.
champion. Okay. Well, that got heated. I know who I want to be my 4.
Okay. Yeah. I see too.
Say it on 3.
Yeah.
Link up voices.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Count
Nice.
Dooku. That was upsetting. I think Count Dooku, you got to take in the fact that he was trained by Yoda. He is a defector of the Jedi. He left the Order and then disappeared for many years. And then not only just disappearing for many years, he comes back as Darth Tyrannus, a Sith Lord.
Oh, yeah,
And then he also helps commission the clones, which are the... Some could say that Sidious couldn't even do Order 66 without him.
Yeah, Count Dooku was definitely a big drive in the for the stake in Order 66.
Yeah, and I also think that Count Dooku... I mean, this is gonna... Count Dooku's the reason the Empire exists and the reason that Darth Vader exists. Boom.
He's one of them.
I don't think that Anakin turns without beheading him. I think that moment where he beheads him is like Anakin's first moment of... Not first moment. I would say slaughtering all the people to get Shmi is his first moment. But I think him beheading Dooku is the first moment where he did it when he was calm and he did it like accepting.
It could have... See, my point with that statement right there...
Yeah.
My objection to that is it could have been any Sith that he cuts the head off of.
But it wasn't any Sith. It was his master's master. You know what? Actually, that's a very good point. Now I'll hear you out with Macy Mace.
No, I actually agree with you on Count Dooku.
Oh, okay. Should we put Palpatine up here? Or no? Is Palpatine
Somewhere.
dropping real far? All right, Count
I mean,
Dooku.
to think of him as his story arc, there's not too much of it.
I actually think that his story arc, he gets more arc in episode 7 through 9. Coming back from the dead
Or just be 9.
I mean,
I guess he's throwing Snoke. Throwing Snoke. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I honestly think that that's where he gets a lot of his
He's
joke.
up there, but I don't think he's...
Right. Okay.
I think he's next.
At 6?
Yes.
I would actually agree with that. Although... Okay, yeah.
Who do you want?
We're going to piss too many people off if we go with what I want. But I I think that some underdogs here are Shmi Skywalker and Zhao Zhao.
Yeah, I do too.
Jar Jar starts as, I need to be careful with what I say. He starts as a water-dwelling dweeb.
Yes.
And he rises to a politician that runs billions of people's lives in Coruscant. I mean, that rise.
Does he become the senator
of
Naboo?
He also commits suicide at the very end of his story in the comics.
Does he become the senator of Naboo?
I think he does.
Okay. I mean, obviously, he's got a good storyline.
He also is the one that helps.
A lot of it's hidden behind pages.
I don't think so. He outwardly professes that Palpatine is in the right and convinces the council to vote Palpatine as chancellor, giving him supreme power. That's Jar Jar that did that, and that's why he kills himself in the comic, which is really dark. But I think he's on this list. Honestly,
I don't think he's next.
All right, okay. I think Palpatine. I think Palpatine's probably on here, but
we threw him in.
Did I?
6.
Did I?
Or we were going to. Or at least we were thinking about it.
I really do think that Jar Jar has a better story arc. I don't know what Palpatine does. I guess. All right. Yeah. All right. I think. But here's my question: is being a mastermind a story arc? Because when we meet him, he's as smart as he is the moment he dies. Of when we meet him, I don't think he.
that.
I think
that was.
I think that this is the point of. I think that this is the point of this list, is to not do something that we were going to do, which was doing our doing the strongest character. This is story arc. Yeah. And I'm not lying. I don't see it there for Mr. Sheev. I guess I do see the storyline of him commissioning the death of his son. That's kind of dark. But he's not even there for that.
I mean, I think the way I think of this story arc is it's not a typical, you're a good guy, you got bad intentions, but you become good.
Then what is the story arc of Palpatine?
Think of it as he's the good guy.
Okay.
Although he fails in the end. Right? He's climbed the ranks of politics to gain control of, pretty much...
He has some big wins
almost the whole galaxy.
66.
Yeah, he has a lot of big wins. He's manipulating a lot of people, getting his way.
Yeah.
Then he finally enacts his plan, Order 66.
Yeah.
Finally becomes, the head leader.
Yeah.
And then you get this baddie, Luke Skywalker, this bad guy, right?
Yeah.
He was just a boy, but now he's trying to destroy you and get rid of you and trying to turn your only apprentice back to his side.
You got me. Palpy 6. Let's go to 7.
7. Now, what do you think?
We got Count Dooku at 5. This list is gonna be nutty. Personally, I like me some Qui-Gon, even though a lot of, like you said, a lot of his stuff is buried behind the pages. Well, and I understand that. I mean, from the movie, you don't really get a story arc out of Qui-Gon Jinn.
I think we do.
I don't. I don't.
Well, from being the first person to know how to become a Force Ghost and pretty much guiding Yoda through his path, he's the one who tells me to go to Dagobah.
Dagobah.
The
Dagobah system R2. All right. I think that in the book, again, I'm gonna harp on that book. It's my favorite Star Wars book to date. Master and Apprentice. In that book, if you read that book, he would jump up your list so high, because his struggle in that is being an apprentice, or being a master to an apprentice that he doesn't want and that doesn't want him as a master. And I really like that story. However, I would put 7 personally. I would put Jar Jar first. I think that is a story arc in and of itself. That is, I don't think you see Qui-Gon Jinn rise and fall in that way. Or even have this. I think you see him go through small scale stuff. Well, I gotta figure out how to be a ghost. He figures
I don't
out.
see that as small scale, but I see your point. I see your point.
do. And then my apprentice doesn't like me. That's small scale. Jar Jar Binks being a water-dwelling dweeb.
You're simplifying it. Sure, let's put Jar Jar at 7.
Thank you.
But I think we should still stick with Qui-Gon at 8.
I want it to be said out loud vocally that I want Shmi Skywalker to be 8th.
All right.
I think that giving up her son was very tough for her. I think that it's very well acted. I think she goes through a very brief love interest with Qui-Gon Jinn. There is steam there.
There could be something. I mean, he is a Force ghost. So you never know what he did.
And then she's enslaved for the decision that giving her son up made. And then, in her last moments, her son finds her. But she sees the anger in him. That scares her as she dies.
That's a good arc. It's not enough.
That's more than Qui-Gon Jinn.
There's 3 things that goes on.
Okay, losing son.
Enslaved. Dead.
Yeah. Force ghost. My apprentice doesn't like me.
Apprentice doesn't like me.
And then what's that? Am I being stabbed right now?
Qui-Gon Jinn should be our 8th.
I agree.
Cool.
Well, thanks for watching this video. The next one is going to cover our next to the sequel trilogy and the extended universe. Until then, may the Force be with you.